1,000+ strong. Georgia's hard to beat in here. They've lost exactly once in the last 4 seasons. That was in double overtime to South Carolina a couple years ago. It takes a lot to win as a visitor. And this is the first true road test for this Arkansas team. Yeah, they're experienced. They got a bunch of veterans, but they haven't been in an environment like this yet this season. Kirby Smart and the Dogs, sizable favorites, eager to reconfirm that they are among the elite again in college football. Beautiful place to be on a Saturday, Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium. And here come the Bulldogs. Glad you're with us for this high noon top 10 collision in the Southeastern Conference. Quarterback health, a major plot line here. Both regular starting quarterbacks dealing with pain management. And it looks like for Georgia, JT Daniels is not going to be able to go. Dealing with an injury to his right lat muscle. Throwing is painful. Didn't take any reps in Thursday's practice. And about an hour before the game, you can see the grimace as he tried to throw. But it looks like it's going to be Stetson Bennett IV. Number 13, the former walk-on who came back to Georgia as a scholarship player, getting the nod today. Bennett has experience. He's confident. Came off the bench last year against Arkansas and lit up the Razorbacks in the second half. It's a different defense today. You can see they lose a little bit in passing accuracy and decision-making, but Bennett is a better runner than Daniels. They need help in that running game.
Coach Smart, tell me what's going to happen at quarterback for your team today and how it impacts your offense.
Well, Stetson Bennett's going to go for us. He's played some other games. JT's got a lat issue that's bothering him, so looking forward to see Stetson go play. He's got to cut it loose and go.
What changes with your offense with him? What can he do to help you?
Well, he's got a little more mobility, and we're hoping he can use that. And we got to get JT healthy.
Thanks, Coach.
Good dogs.
Yeah, you can't get healthy with that injury unless you're rested. And the hope is that couple of weeks, Daniels will be ready to go. But for now, Kirk Herbstreit, it is the Stetson Fleming Bennett IV show. And I know you like this quarterback. You like his moxie and his skill set.
I do. I think moxie's a great word for him, and he's got some experience. I mean, he's played not only against Arkansas last year, but also, you know, you're talking about a quarterback that has played against Alabama when they went to Tuscaloosa last year. So I don't think he's going to be intimidated by what he sees. In fact, he plays with a bit of a chip on his shoulder. And I think the thing you get is mobility. If Arkansas gets pressure, he has an ability to create, get away from pressure, and look downfield. The one thing he's got to be careful of, Chris, is just trying to make a play when it's not there. He's such a competitor.
Good hustle getting us here, by the way. You got the dual threat quarterback quick, so I appreciate that.
You got it.
Arkansas won the toss. They deferred, so you're going to see Bennett and that Dogs offense right away. Kickoff man for the Hogs is Vito Calvaruso, and he typically creates touchbacks, and this one is boom, way out of the back of the end zone, landed in the hedges. So here comes Bennett, plenty of confidence as a thrower, maybe not quite as dynamic as Daniels. You said he has a tendency to press and throw the ball to the other team, and it'll be interesting to see how they call this game earlier. Todd Monken, a very aggressive play caller by nature.
Absolutely, and I don't think he changes. He's not going to change his approach with Bennett in there. I think, again, the experience is big. He can make every throw. Actually has a stronger arm than JT Daniels, so it's the same game plan. They've got to run the ball against a very complex defense to be able to set up their play-action game today.
He's actually played more in the last 3 games than Daniels has. It's a keeper for Bennett. Needs a block on the edge, gets one, and gets 9 on first down. So right away they set the tone. You got to fear the quarterback run with this guy in there.
Yeah, that's what we were just saying, is the mobility all of a sudden is a different aspect of what Arkansas is going to have to defend. Now, Arkansas plays this 3-3-5. They're trying to keep all of the big plays in front of them, and they have 8 guys with their eyes on the ball, linebackers, safeties, and corners that are looking to chase down plays in front, running game and short pass game.
It's a stout Arkansas defense. Top 12 in yards allowed. They're number 8 against pass. And Bennett's looking to zip it high in the slot. Ladd McConkey makes the catch, and in 2 plays, the Dogs are at midfield.
Yeah, it looks like McConkey took a big hit there from the safety. Good read by Stetson Bennett on a run-pass option. Linebackers for Arkansas attack downhill, and that's what they do. Watch the linebackers. They get up close, so he goes right behind them and finds the tight windows that he'll have to throw in today between the backers and the safeties.
McConkey, a slightly built freshman, goes 185. They're very thin at receiver. They really can't afford to have him out. I'm checking him out in the sidelines.
Yeah, not a lot of depth. That's the one spot they've been really hit with injuries.
White bursts up the middle, and they test the middle of that Hogs defense and rip off another first down. They're inside the 40.
They are controlling the line of scrimmage. The big thing is you want to try to keep Arkansas balanced with your play calling, especially on an opening drive. Give them different formations and personnel groupings, and then let this offensive line get off of the ball and try to impose their will against this Arkansas defense, by the way. It's been really tough to run the football on.
Definitely fast. Can this defensive scheme hold up as the Dogs try to pound the rock up the middle? There's a second down throw, battle on the edge, and a flag comes in. And defending over there was Monteric Brown on Eddie Mitchell.
It looked like to me he got his right hand on the shoulder pad to try to keep Mitchell away from the ball. I mean, he's locked up one-on-one against a true freshman. He's got both his hands. In fact, then at the end, the right hand grabs the jersey. I mean, he was all over him on the entire route.
Mitchell, a long 6'4" freshman out of Texas.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Mitchell's a big play weapon, averaging almost 18 yards a catch.
Yeah.
Senior out of Miami, younger brother of Dalvin. Takes the ball, gets the block on the edge. He's quick. You can see the acceleration. The running game is going, and they got another first down. Burton, a good block on the edge.
Yeah. Sawyer, 69, gets up to 27. He didn't make a block. He just walled him off with his body, 325 pounds, and got him to the edge. And when these backs get to the edge, boy, it gives this defense so much more they're going to have to deal with. Arkansas's got to do a good job of setting the edge and forcing these backs back to the inside. I think now with Stetson Bennett, you have a little bit more of a factor of the defense having to respect what he can do with his legs on the perimeter. Even
Daniel's a pretty chill guy, Kirk, but it's got to be killing him not to be able to go in this game.
Yeah.
Frustrating series of injuries so far this season. Cook motions out, empty backfield. 2nd and 7. Bennett from the pocket, rifle short, catch made. McConkey, good to see him back in there, takes another shot, and he's knocked out of bounds by Joe Fouché. 3rd down coming up.
This is where Bennett just shows you the experience. He's got a huge cushion over here. He's just going to pick his spot. Empty backfield means the ball needs to come out quickly. He loads up on McConkey because he's got such a soft cushion matched up there against Fouché. He just takes the easy throw and puts him close to a first down. I thought he actually picked it up. Looks like he's a little short.
So 3rd and 1. Bowers lined up to the right of the formation. White through traffic into the end zone. Opening statement drive by Georgia. Right down the field to draw first blood. Impressive, Kirk.
Yeah, what a drive by Todd Monken. Watch the left side of the offensive line. The tight end, Fitzpatrick. The tackle, 69, Sawyer gets up to the backer. Just perfect execution. Georgia's got to be very excited for how this drive, 9 plays, 75 yards, opening drive to get this game started.
Yeah, and just did what no opponent has done to Arkansas. Scored in the first quarter. 353rd consecutive PAT made by Georgia kickers. How about this? Bennett comes in at quarterback. This is the kind of running game Dogs fans been waiting to see. Arkansas's first possession coming up. So Arkansas defers. Georgia marches right down the field. In 75 yards, they are up 7-0.
This is during our break. I'd love to see this. Stetson Bennett not only leads them down to a touchdown the opening drive, he goes right over to Justin Robinson, who had that drop, and just says, hey, man, shake it off. We're good. This is early in the game. We're going to go right back to you. Shows his leadership.
Jake Camarda, All-American punter, also handles the kickoff duties. This is A.J. Green. No relation to the former Bulldog receiver of the same name. And coverage is good. And they stop him short of the 20. And here comes K.J. Jefferson. All eyes on his mobility, Kirk, because he's been dealing with a pain management issue this week as well.
He's got that bruised knee. And 245, I really think he's up to date. Weight is 255. He's got to be involved in the run game to be able to get this skill going. Play action pass. He's one of the best in yards per completion because they make big plays in their passing game. And it's because teams have to respect him running and these running backs finding creases to run the football.
First play, Treylon Burks, their fine receivers in the backfield to the right of Jefferson. Two-back look. They're right in front of the student section. This place is juiced up.
All start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They have not experienced this. It was a rowdy environment at AT&T Stadium, but they had half the place with their fans when they beat A&M. This is totally new for them.
First time this offense has had to deal with it. Sam Pittman, he coached here. He said all week that he knew what they were going into. Got to weather the storm early. Giving up a touchdown, a false start on the first play. This is not the start he had hoped for.
And another false start. Oh my goodness. You couldn't draw it up any worse for the Razorbacks on the road here.
No, that's Brady Latham, the left guard. I thought I read his lips like saying timeout. Maybe they were going to regroup.
What was their technique for dealing with this, all this crowd noise that they practiced all week?
They practice, they deal with the clap like most people do, but man, you're in the loudest part of this stadium right now. And when you make a couple of mistakes like that, you just lit a fuse.
You just let the students know that they're in charge down there. Well, they get the snap off. Traylon Smith is their top back, and he's able to get back 3, but it's 2nd and 17, way behind the 6 against this defense.
Yeah, and it's hard enough on 1st and 10, let alone 2 false starts to get you at 1st and 20. This defense is as good as you'll see in the country. Defensive line are grown men. The linebackers play with a great deal of passion and love for one another. And this is the one question. The safeties are rock solid, but Speed and Kendrick on the edge, that's the one spot Georgia still has to grow up.
Yeah, pressured and slammed down. Devontae Wyatt, part of that nasty defensive front.
Now he's right in the middle, and you know, there's so many different weapons. He works right through 55 with power. Bo Limmer just cannot contain him and keep him out. Nolan Smith, 4, also working around the edge. You get into predictable play calling, it's tough on any offense, but Sam Pittman's offense, they're just not built for that.
The goal here is to avoid a safety, frankly. 3rd and 24. Jefferson on the slant, threw it into heavy traffic, and it is broken up by Quay Walker. That's as bad as it gets for an offensive line on the road in the first series.
I just want to lay out and just like, let's just take this in. I mean, this is an intimidating atmosphere for a noon kick.
Matt Luke, the former head coach at Ole Miss, took over for Pittman. He coaches the offensive line here. And off inside, and Milton, they're just keeping these packs fresh. Here comes the rotation early.
And it's just a surge. You know, your line's doing a good job. The tight ends are rotating in. We've seen Bowers, we've seen Washington, John Fitzpatrick, 86 with a great block there on the edge. And again, look at the yardage on 1st and 10. And that's going to open up eventually. You're going to get these safeties that are starting to think about defending the run. You're going to get some one-on-one shots, early down play action. Take some shots downfield eventually when you're running the ball like that.
Dogs, one of the best in the country on 3rd down. They have a lot of 3rd and shorts like this, but 54%. It's in large part because Daniels has been incredibly accurate on 3rd down. And they swarm right this time. No gain. Henry again penetrating along with Jalen Cattle on the safety. So a decision now, 4th and 2 for Kirby.
Oh, that was a good call by Barry Odom. A twist up front by Utsi confused the offensive line and forced him to bounce that And once he went to the outside, that's the speed of the Arkansas defense.
Now you got a defense that's been on roller skates so far. A chance to perhaps make a stop and change momentum in this game.
Huge opportunity for the Arkansas defense.
About 1.5 yards. White is the back. Burton in motion. And they run it straight ahead. Broken tackle. White gets the first down. They had a chance to grab him in the backfield. Catalan couldn't do it. And you hear the Zeus serenade for the running back.
Yeah, Catalan did have a chance working right here. That was the guy they were trying to get free. Actually, the second level. Catalan was at second level, was able to get down inside there. Just an arm tackle. Looked like his mouthpiece or something popped out during this play, but he picks up the first down.
It's hard to get White down with an arm tackle. He's a guy that has 0 yards lost rushing this year. Has not been stopped behind the line of scrimmage yet. McIntosh is now the back. Clean pocket for Bennett. Lofts it downfield for the running back who makes the catch and is knocked out inside the 5. That's the skill set of the junior from Fort Lauderdale.
They clear out with Mitchell to try to open up the wheel. See Mitchell right there, 5. He's taking the corner with him. And then they knew they had the back slipping out of the backfield. Great execution.
What a throw. You just dropped it in the bucket, as they say. McIntosh carries the football for about 1 yard, and the flag is down.
They go tempo, and I think they caught him trying to substitute Arkansas with 12 men on the field.
That's tough, though, Kirk. You get a play, you want to get your goal line guys in there. Yeah. No chance.
Yeah. Yep. Too many men on the field.
Move it a little bit closer. Well, they couldn't make that tackle on that 4th and 1 play, and you somehow knew that was trouble.
Legal substitution. Defense. 12 players on the field at the snap. The penalty is half to this is the goal. First down.
Pittman's team in danger, going down 2 scores midway first quarter here.
Todd Monken knew exactly what he wanted to do by trying to clear that out down the sideline and then slide his back. Knew that he would be able to get right behind Henry. See that? Perfect design. And how about the throw by Stetson Bennett?
Milton is the back. Didn't play last week because of a shoulder problem. Good to go this week. And he'll be stopped short of the goal line. Ridgeway, one of those transfers, the former Illinois State Redbird, clog in the middle. Second down.
And you touch on Ridgeway. That's what. Oh, they're bringing a big fella in.
Comes Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Nose tackle. Often plays fullback in these goal line situations.
That's a lot of weight coming in to lead a back through a hole. I've just talked about Ridgeway and Utsi and Trey Williams. Such a different group from Arkansas now with the transfer portal.
Look who else they get in there. Jordan Davis, 99. They got 2 nose tackles.
Yeah.
2 of them in the game.
And Sam Pittman saw that. He said,
wait a minute.
All right, no way, Kirby.
We got 7 300-pounders in the game. We better talk about this. Dogs threatening to build in a 7-point lead. So the Dogs, with that power lineup in there, they had about, 700 pounds of nose tackle between 88 and 99 and 6 offensive linemen before the timeout anyway.
There's Jordan Davis. He's out there. Your tight ends out there.
Get a backup guard, Owen Condon, switching numbers to be out there. Second and goal, I formation, Milton, and he just follows. Oh, they lost the ball. And he's in the end zone for a Georgia touchdown. All that beef. Not much Arkansas could do about it.
No, he run to the left side. The big fella's on the right. This opens up over on the left, but just for fun, let's keep an eye on what Jordan Davis does. Just to remind you what he can do. He just leans on people, but a great push on that left side to open that up. And Jalen Carter was in there and helped out the defensive nose guard.
They're ripping at the ball. Milton was able to hold on to it. And Georgia, 2 touchdown drives behind a powerful running game. Sprinkled in with the occasional pass, but they have been pure power in the first quarter with Bennett at quarterback. And Jefferson backed up again in front of that student section. This is Smith around the right side, and that's a win for them. Holly, let's get down to you in that noisy part of the stadium.
Because I wanted to put it in perspective how noisy it actually is down here. We were at Penn State for a night whiteout with 109,000 a couple weeks ago. It was 105. Today in this end zone is 110 decibels, almost as loud as the New York subway.
Wow. Jefferson trying to escape the pressure and the noise, and he finds Morris, who catches the ball underneath and then takes a shot from Trayvon Walker. Third down coming up.
Another talented defensive lineman that, because of his athletic ability, they'll drop him out.
There's a flag.
That's lineman downfield.
Yeah. Penalties have been a problem for Arkansas.
Eligible receiver downfield. Offense. Number 51. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Repeat.
Another mistake for this offensive line, and they are really backed up now. Not much Kendall Briles can do.
Sometimes with run-pass option, you know, you get linemen that get downfield. See the right side. Center that time Stromberg working downfield, thinking it's a run, and KJ Jefferson pulls it because of the defensive read that he had.
Can't draw it up horse for the Hogs in the early going. Behind the 6 again, with the students roaring in their eardrums.
Got 3 receivers off to his left and a cushion against 2 defensive backs. He'll probably try to work that way.
Jefferson gets the ball out quickly, which is smart before that pass rush gets there. And there's Burks, their playmaker, but Dog, plenty of attention on him.
Georgia did that on, I mean, we're looking at it. Georgia's saying to the quarterback, hey, look, you got 3-on-2 with a cushion. Why don't you take that? Take those 4 yards. There you go. Good job. We'll rally the ball. 3rd and 8. It's exactly what Georgia wanted.
4 receivers bunched to the left now. Empty backfield on 3rd down. Jefferson looked like a run all the way. Dogs were onto it, and they slam him down the line of scrimmage. Nakobe Dean, the All-American linebacker on the stop. Dogs are feasted.
Chris, when I sat down with this Georgia defense, we started talking about 3rd down and pressure. I said, what are you going to do about him throwing the football? They said, no. 3rd and 8, man. We're ready for run. We're thinking run. And you can see Nakobe Dean that time, even though he's trying to potentially rush the quarterback, his eyes are up in case they're running the football. Did not fool the Georgia defense. They were ready to roll.
Bauer, another punt from his own end zone. Here is Jackson near midfield. It's blocked! And Dogs fall on it for a special teams touchdown! Zamir White, the running back on the recovery. It's 150 DBs down there now.
Wow, Chris. Dan Jackson came from way back, 47, to eventually get in, and I think surprised the punt team from Arkansas. They disguised where the pressure was coming, and eventually Jackson comes free. You'll see him come free, but he came from way off where they didn't account for him.
Dogs hadn't had a special teams touchdown in about 3 years. Take care of that in this incredibly dominant first quarter.
How about Dan Jackson? He's back here. Arkansas is not thinking. Look at the gap right here. They're not thinking about 47 right now. They don't have to account for him. Look at last second he comes and is able to get in there almost untouched. Really great call by the special teams coordinator there to come up with that block.
Georgia has a lot of these 4- and 5-star athlete starters on special teams, and it shows. Here's the progressive pylon cam view.
That's a great view. 47, Dan Jackson blocks it. He's a backup safety. Does a good job in that role, but this time makes his living on special teams. His head was up. He's looking everywhere for the ball. He wanted to not only block it, but score the touchdown.
Great first quarter for White, who ran one in and now falls on the block punt.
You got to go back to what's been your bread and butter, which is your running game. You know, they run the ball to set up shots downfield, and the way Georgia's playing with 2 safeties back, you've got to be able to run the ball.
And they're all over the quarterback run. Fake the handoff, gained nothing there. Jalen Carter, the lead blocker on the touchdown a while ago. Familiar role as the tackler this time.
Yeah. Jordan Davis gets a lot of attention because of his size, and he passed on the NFL draft a year ago, 99. But I think 88 may be the most gifted defensive linemen that Georgia has, and that's saying a lot because there's NFL players across the board up there.
Jefferson has time on play action, just checks it down to the flat. And it's a good move there. Rocket Sanders made a man miss it. He's still running. They thought they had him penned in. That's the kind of play this Hogs offense needed.
Oh my gosh, is that a big play? That's a simple check down and a good job by Sanders getting away from Brini, the nickel who was out there. He was in position, but physicality there from the freshman.
Option after the 22-yard gain. They play with some tempo. Jefferson takes off on the keeper. Big fella rumbling into the secondary. Tackled at the 22. There are 3 flags on the field.
And it looked like a holding call that they'll get on that run. But boy, you finally saw a little bit of energy and momentum.
Holding. Offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Receiver Warren
Remains
Thompson.
first down.
Thompson on a great run that wouldn't have had anything to do with the run, but that's where Kendall Briles, he gets a good play on a check down by Raheem Sanders, breaks a tackle, picks up yards, then he goes speed option. It's getting big yards. Look at the top there, grabs onto the jersey. There's really no need to do that. He's holding on to Kendrick, the corner. But man, they get self-destruct. Another mistake for Arkansas. They'd have had the ball around the 30-yard line. Now they're back to midfield and momentum and tempo, and now they lose all that.
It's a spot foul, so it's going to be first down at about 6. Sanders again. Raheem, but they all call him Rocket. He's out of Florida.
If you can't tell, no matter who plays Georgia this year, you've got to do something besides just line up and play football. You've got to affect their eyes. You've got to get them somehow on their heels. And that was where, you get a couple first downs, you can do that.
Sanders, and they were able to get a first down, 42.
So there's a first down. I want to see if Kendall Briles, he's got, that's where your momentum and your aggressive approach can come in, where Georgia's looking over, just got a first down. They're trying to get the call from Dan Lanning. Kendall Briles wants to go faster to try to slow down that Bulldog mentality from Georgia.
That's Burks coming in motion. They loop around. They hand it off inside to Dominique Johnson, their most physical back, but Dean is waiting for him right there. Gained about a yard. Looks like that'll be the final play of the first quarter. Well, the Dogs coming out swinging. Long touchdown drive to take the lead. Good field position for the second touchdown drive. Block a punt and recover it. 21-0 in Sanford Stadium. End of the first quarter. Back after these messages. Big bodies over there. Jefferson runs it and breaks the tackle. Barrels over a couple of defenders and leans down to the 25-yard line. That shows you what he can do in the open field.
So the reason they go real quick here with the quad is to get him over just a little bit. And by moving him over, it allows the center to get up and then enough room to get the first down.
Well put. Size, speed, strength, attitude, smarts, all of it.
And love for one another, which helps out with a great defense.
Need 5 on third down. Jefferson pump fake. He was going to run all the way. Dogs were all over it. And they slam him to the ground. That's big Jordan Davis. Up to about 360, but still moving around pretty quick. Fourth down.
He wanted to get the ball out quickly to Kern, who's coming over from the right side. See him work. 87 works over. But it's covered. It's taken away. So all he can do is try to create. Now, he's not twitchy. He's 255 pounds. You can't allow him to build up speed, which they took away right away. Nowhere for him to run.
Cam Little, a true freshman kicker who is perfect for his career. 8 for 8 so far. That's the curse. Misses for the first time. Nothing going right for the Razorbacks on the road. Drove it 55 yards. Stopped on third down and come up empty. A lot of hugs and handshakes for Pittman before that. I think he broke a conference record. I told him all the folks here that think so highly of him greeting him before the game, but the game is on, and the Dogs are dismantling Pittman's Razorbacks. Cook just sprints into Arkansas territory, 24-yard gain.
But Grant Morgan takes himself right out of the play here by blitzing to the inside. Then they set the edge there with a tackle Sawyer, and he's got all that space to run.
Cook sideways. Nice cut there to pick up about 4.
So much for getting behind the sticks, right? 1st and 15. You're thinking, okay, let's see what Stetson Bennett can do. No. Just go right back to old reliable. Run the ball, rotate these backs, control the line of scrimmage.
Guys operating the 6 have been busy when Georgia's got the ball. They're moving quickly.
I don't know what they're averaging on 1st and 10. We'll have to look at that with our next level stats, but I'm guessing it's got to be 5-6 yards a carry.
Feels like it, at least. There's a modest 4-yard gain on that 1st down.
You know it's coming.
White barreling forward. It's just hot knife through butter at the moment.
There's Bowers, who you talked about, moving a little bit.
Bennett fires downfield. He tried to get it to Bowers and sent through it into traffic, and it was broken up by Simeon Blair.
Wow, Simeon Blair, I don't know how he dropped the football. I mean, if you're going to get back into a football game, you got one-on-one chance. You know that you're going to get the ball probably thrown to 19. Tight window. He tries to squeeze it in. That's the one thing with Stetson Bennett. He'll look great. He'll look in command, and then he'll put one in traffic. And Blair, he goes in the air. He's got his hands on the football.
I don't know if his teammate Clark did him any favors. He may have helped break it up over there. So instead of the pick, it's a 46-yard field goal attempt by Jack Podlesny. They call him Pod, and he drives it through. Everything going right for the Dogs, including special teams dominance. 24-0.
Matty Berry, you can always assist us when it comes to Bears questions.
All right, calling a game on Thursday. Man in the studio today.
Passion for college football.
Now it's getting a little desperate for the Hogs, down 24 here to make something happen. A.J. Green is the back, and the Dogs, it's his turn to get slammed hard after a 1-yard gain. No, it was 3rd and short. Now it's 3rd and 7.
Did you see the movement by Georgia?
All start. Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Dalton Wagner, the right tackle. There was late movement by Georgia. Remember, it's 3rd and short. You're communicating. You're on the road. Look at 78 on the right. Just moved. Just barely flinched after that movement from Georgia as a group. It made him a little uncomfortable. The calls are being changed. You got all this noise in this stadium. There's a lot going on for those offensive linemen.
And you feel for him, but I don't know if an O-line can play a worse first half than this group has.
You're right. Got 4 receivers off to the left of KJ Jefferson. They've used some of that to try to run him, but Georgia, I'm sure, aware, they'll bring Green back in.
Dogs with only 2 down linemen. They get it in the flat, and no chance to make a play. Flying up is Darian Kendrick, the former All-ACC corner at Clemson, to make the tackle on Green.
Well, that's a great job by 11, recognizing the motions, the indicator. He sees that. He knows they're going to try to block. Really poor execution on Arkansas's part. I mean, they left Kendrick alone. I don't know if they expected Green to beat him, but there are a lot of red jerseys flying to the football, but it started by 11, getting out there and setting the edge.
You guys think about the journey of Stetson Bennett IV. He's from a tiny town in South Georgia, Blackshear, about 3,400 population. Walks on here, runs the scout team for a while, then realizes he really needs to go somewhere else if he wants to play. So he goes to a small JUCO at Jones College, Ellisville, Mississippi, and then he comes back. And he was 3rd string much of this season, but he got an opportunity after the injury to JT Daniels, and he worked his way up the chart. Kirby said he was the best guy at practice. He made us feel like he gives us a chance to win.
And he plays with a chip on his shoulder too, Holly. I mean, it's incredible in this era of backup quarterbacks leaving. Love that he stayed and fought.
Nice to have the luxury of an experienced backup. You know, Carson Beck is a very talented guy, but just the moxie, the experience, the attitude Bennett brings, that's why he's in there at the moment. This is the best field position the Hogs have started with from their own 36. And Smith, their top running back, is slammed down. Once again, it's Jordan Davis getting out in the edge to make a play.
I mean, the big man, 360 pounds, is able to work from the inside out. I mean, they're trying to set the edge. They're not worried about 99 getting out there. Are you kidding me?
God, that's what they love about him when they put that tapes as NFL scouts check it out, is what you look for on Sundays from a man at that position. Second and long. Jefferson just looking for something. Fires on the sidelines. And the catch is made over there by Warren Thompson. It'll be third and short again.
Arkansas just trying to get anything going. Look at these first 4 drives, their personnel groupings, their formations. They're trying to do anything to try to give this Georgia defense something to have to think about, have to communicate. You can see they haven't had the greatest field position to start off most of these drives.
Trying to avoid a 4th 3 and out in their first 5 possessions here. They need 3 on third.
And 1 of 5 on third down.
4 receivers to the left. Typically, this is a formation they'll run the quarterback out of. Burks comes in motion. Jefferson took a look, tries to get it to him. There was just no chance. He was covered by Brini on the edge. Throw wasn't on target, and it's 4th down again. If they can get a stop here, got a good chance to produce some points before halftime. They used their timeout to preserve time, and now Bennett running, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. It's right near the marker. Hayden Henry forced him out. It is a first down, Georgia.
That's what he brings to the table. You know, they're going to take away everything downfield, which is where all his receivers were. There's nobody open. So with JT Daniels, he's got to throw that ball away. And with Stetson Bennett, he's able to keep that play alive and utilize his legs and quickness and pick up a first down, keep this drive alive.
Todd is an interesting character. He'll use the entire vocabulary to make his point. How can I put it? More subtly. Well, the Hogs defense, that's not the stop they wanted, because now Georgia can just run this clock down. But they do make a tackle. It's 4th down. You know, Bennett got the call when Daniels couldn't go with that lat injury. Hasn't had to do much besides show poise and leadership. Let the big fellas up front move the Hogs right out of the way. A powerful running game for Georgia. They rushed for 139 in the first half. Excel in special teams, and they are routing the underdogs from Fayetteville. End of the half here. Time now for the Lexus halftime report. Eager to hear Matt, Jesse, and Joey with an update from around the country. Guys? Third down has been a nightmare. 1 for 6. Most of them have been very long. Well, they throw it underneath, and that doesn't work either. Blake turned the tight end. Another flag is down on the play.
It was on the near side.
That might have been an ineligible downfield as the quarterback took a long time.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 55. The penalty is declined. Results of the play, 4th down.
Razorbacks have 110 more penalty yards than their opponents coming into this game. It's been a problem, but not quite to this degree.
Make no mistake, this has a lot to do with Georgia's team and their defense, obviously, but a lot to do as well with this atmosphere, being on the road for the first time and pressing and being, I think, just flat out nervous. This Arkansas team looks rattled so far in this game.
5 3 and outs and 6 possessions. They're shifting around. Remember, they had a punt block for a touchdown in the first half. The Dogs going to come after it again. They do. This time Bauer gets it away, but it's ugly. Really ugly. Rattled, nervous, all of the above.
Things like that. The kicker missing a kick that he makes. It's a chip shot, that he never misses. All those things are just adding up all around.
McIntosh. Nice. Near the marker again before Catalan stopped him. Got to be an awful feeling for that defense. They are just being mauled.
Yeah, and again, you start to become mentally fatigued when this happens to you.
I mean, this is like Vince Dooley football. I mean, they barely need to throw. It's just pure power. Topper had a couple of picks against Rice earlier in the season. Dogs need 6. Bennett. Well, still not going to attempt to pass. Didn't have anybody open. Scrambled and forced out by Bumper Poole. And here comes the field goal team.
Yeah, that's a win, obviously, for Arkansas. Good job in coverage that time. They took away the tight end. They tried to sneak Fitzpatrick out into the flat, but he was taken away there by Joe Fouché. Took him out away in the flat and get that offense off the field and have to settle for a field goal.
But Lesney settled in after a somewhat rocky start to the season. Missed one against Clemson. It was good earlier from 46. This one from 30. And he gets it inside the right upright. Georgia, short field, adds 3 more on, 27-0.
Turn that damn jukebox! Turn that damn! Turn that damn!
September was a dance party for Sam Pittman of the Razorbacks. That jukebox he's got a few more slots, but he's got some classic CDs from all different genres, and they were just dancing around, having a great time. Destroyed Texas. Got past Texas A&M, which has been their nemesis.
Yep.
Come in here ranked in the top 10. Nobody expected that a month ago, but it's been a little bit of a Razorback reality check today.
They've become, coming into this game, kind of a media darling nationally and a big story. I think people expected them it'd be a tough ask to come in here, but a lot of people thought it could be a very competitive game.
Option pitch, Rocket Sanders on the edge, and the Rocket never gets to launch. Lewis Cine and that dog's pursuit. Tyndall was there as well.
Well, Lewis Cine is known for his ability to come up and run support, speed option. He's got to take the back, and you could see Tyndall and Lewis Cine there. They knew it all along with that. They read speed option. Quarterback's taken by the end. They have to fill the alley. Good job.
Jefferson looking to throw on 2nd and 10, and the pocket collapses. Dean affected him first, slammed to the ground. Wyatt helped out.
Well, there's nowhere to go with the ball. This is a coverage sack that Dean eventually gets there, along with the help of Wyatt. Look downfield as he's trying to figure out where to go with this football. I mean, look at this. Look at the coverage. Where's he going to go with the ball, right? I mean, he's got nobody there to find open, and eventually Dean takes it away. But that was a long, developing play with only 3 receivers downfield, all of them downfield pretty far, and nowhere to go.
And the ball comes out. Catch made along the sideline, short of the marker. Yeah, on that sack. That's a freshman running back, Sanders. That's a tough ask for him to block Dean, who's a great blitzer, elite blitzer.
Yeah.
Cook is split out way to the right. Bennett's looking back the other direction. The completion is underneath and slammed down is McConkey. Did he catch the ball far enough? Yeah, they're going to spot him short.
It's really close. McConkey has had to come on for this offense with all the injuries. I thought he got up there. He's a former high school quarterback, just a really good athlete. Has as good a quickness as anybody on the team. I think because he came back to the football, his route took him past the marker. He gets past the marker, you see that, but then he comes back to the ball. Boy, he's right there, but that initial step after, maybe they said he came back, but man, he was clearly across the line when he caught the football.
Flag down in the punt. I don't think the spot was great, Cook, but it wouldn't have made a difference. He was still short of the marker.
Did Georgia
clearly going to punt the ball?
Did Georgia have too many in the backfield again? We had two times they called that in the first half. Remember that? Kirby?
Oh, yeah.
Illegal formation.
Oh, my
kicking
gosh.
team. More than 4 players in the
Holy
backfield.
cow, third
the 5-yard
time.
penalty is added at the end of the kick. First down.
Third time.
That tackle and that guard are way too far back.
Okay.
The man was excited about illegal formation on a punt, and Bill Lamagnier, we could have a whole clinic here perhaps as the third quarter unfolds on this obscure rule.
Well, it's just rare to see such a well-coached ball club, right, Bill? Like Georgia have 3 different times where they've had an illegal formation. Wherever I go, I take it with me.
First and a mile, technically 25. They're going to run it, and Green's going to get nothing in the middle. That has been shuttered, not open for business. Look elsewhere today.
Obviously a great strength, the size, the power, the scheme itself, just hard to run for anybody in the inside of this defense. These defensive linemen don't just eat up blocks, they get off of blocks. So they're not letting you get up to the linebackers who are getting downhill quickly, and they also make plays.
Kid that comes in averaging 261 on the ground has 48, and it'll be less than that after the sack by Nakobe Dean, who hammered Jefferson from the blind side.
Well, the pre-snap movement, this affects the communication. Watch this defensive line move. When they move, together. And that offensive line has to adjust. And by the time they adjust, here comes a blitz with the 2 middle linebackers. And that is so challenging. Not to mention you're on the road, and you got a true freshman running back, A.J. Green. It's expected to take on the best blitzing middle linebacker in the country. Man, that is a tough ask.
Dean's one of the best, but it's a team effort. 9 different dogs have a sack this year. That's a lot through 4 games, folks. Jefferson this time has protection and then checks it down. Completion on the sideline of the tight end, Blake Kern, and he gets some of the yards back, but nearly enough. They had to go all the way to the.
I'll tell you what, though. Georgia just lost Kern. I think they just thought he was in on a block. They went man, and a lot of the defenders went downfield. And if nothing else, it gives their punter a chance to try to pin Stetson Bennett, the offense, inside the 10. This is where the pass rush needs to come from if Bennett drops back to throw.
Bennett hasn't been pressured all day, and he's going to launch downfield. A couple of flags are down, and incomplete. Another flag at the end of the play. Burton was being defended by Catalon.
Well, the Arkansas had a player just lined up off sides. And the safety that came up all the way up to the line of scrimmage to cover Bowers, he lined up off sides just playing man. That was one of the flags.
There are multiple fouls against the defense. Offside, defense, 15, decline. Holding, defense, decline. Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The crowd just having a laugh.
Well, it's an unfortunate day for Sam Pittman, but that play, 3 penalties on 1 play. There's the offsides right there where Blair got up across the line of scrimmage, and then you've got pass interference. You've got a holding callback a little closer to the line of scrimmage. You take the pass interference.
Last time you saw 3 flags against one team in 1 play.
That may be a first, Billy. I don't. Bill, you ever make a call like that?
I don't remember 3 in a game, but 3. They were all there.
One play.
Yeah, 1 play. Yeah.
This was their first serious taste of adversity, and they'll take away a lesson from this game, but they're not going to be in the top 10 any longer. Jackson makes the catch. It's another first down.
And let me just say this. If you've not seen Arkansas play this year, this is a program that Sam Pittman took over. They didn't know how to win. And what they have experienced in his second year as a head coach, it was a newfound confidence. They're in uncharted waters where there's expectations and a high ranking in the top 10. And they beat Texas, and they beat A&M, and they deserve that recognition. But the lights got bright. They walked out on that big stage, and they're going to have to learn a valuable lesson about growing as a program after today.
Bennett kept it and then just lofted it in the green grass up over the head of Jalen Johnson.
You know, when you take a program that's been off the beaten path and you put them right on that big stage, it's probably like tennis. When you get all of a sudden on the big stage at the U.S. Open or Wimbledon, it's a player that's maybe not ever been out there and they've been playing great and they get out on that big stage.
Yeah, you got Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal across from you.
Whoa. It's not just the player you're dealing with, it's the energy of the event that you're dealing with. And Arkansas, I think, has had to deal with that.
Very different sports, my true loves, but
yeah,
your point's well made. I mean, in tennis, you're out there alone, but you're not getting hit.
Right, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about the magnitude of walking out there on center stage.
No, and until you've been there, you don't know, and it doesn't matter what the sport is.
Yeah.
They clearly tried to get ready in Fayetteville, but
it's a learning. You know, they got Ole Miss next week. They got Auburn coming up. So you want to learn from this and move on.
See if the Dogs snap it, or if that's it for the third quarter.
Well, that's it.
Georgia tacks on a field goal, 27-0 in Athens. At the end of 3, 4 fingers in the air for the number 2
Get him up.
team.
Get him up, Chris.
Targeted just once today. Milton tries the middle. Look at that. Look at him just push the pile. It's 27-0, and the work is not done for this Georgia offensive line, just mauling people.
Another great play that sums up this game. Look at this offensive line. Just pushing. They didn't hear a whistle. They're going to keep their leg drive going.
You know who the All Blacks are? the New Zealand, like the rugby team?
Oh, yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, I've seen
looked
them.
like the scrum.
It did have that feel.
The guys looked overmatched.
Coach Monken to our right here, maybe he'll simmer down a bit with 27-0 lead, seeing that push from his line.
Unlikely.
I think he's down 27. Reminds me of Coach Saban. It's worse when it gets ugly for the opponent.
Look at Milton spinning, twisting, fighting. This is a team that is hammering their opponents and hungry for more. It's been a statement from the first series, and they're not done talking.
No. And I think what you see there is the offensive line, again, is doing a good job. And the wear and tear of what these runs are doing to this defense, especially look at the missed tackles now. That's what you're going to start seeing. And then you got your fresh backs, White, Cook, Milton, McIntosh, just kind of keep rotating these guys in.
Milton with the Ole and Mateo Sola that time. And that's Kenny McIntosh. Short game. Talked about the stable. It's been rare for a Georgia back to have as many as 10 carries in a game. They really do spread the wealth around. And because it's been run heavy today, this is the most action these guys have had, Kirk. 15 for White, a dozen now for Cook, 10 for Milton.
They're loving it. Cook's the only one that you can see over 7 yards a carry.
And they're approaching 100 more yards rushing than Arkansas typically allows in a game. It's 215 for the Dogs and counting. McIntosh. And this Georgia crowd, a lot of them are still on their feet, just appreciating what they're seeing.
I think Stetson Bennett's loving it too. He can feel it being down there. Darren Brown, my spotter, his team spotter, just had an interesting observation about the offense. Almost feels like they're taking on the personality of the defense. You know, the defense plays with that bully mentality. This offense today against Arkansas, just whipping them up front.
It's been a while since they've reached the end zone. They've lost their focus a bit. You sense that some things were said on the Georgia sideline about this series coming out and reestablishing dominance, and it's worked. 11th play of the drive here. White knifing into the secondary, breaks the tackle, and dives for the end zone. Dogs pouring it on. That's the hat trick for White, Kirk.
Watch the block right here by the true freshman, Brock Bowers. Everybody buying into their assignment. Everybody doing their job. And when you have 11 guys on either side of the football, there's a progressive pylon cam to show you did not touch. Gets it across the goal line. But everybody doing their job in this sport, team sport, works out for you.
There's a great look. You saw the leg power and the balance. Let's see if he did, in fact, keep
it. Wasn't at the goal line. It was further back.
Right.
He kind of took a weird step coming off of a potential tackle by Catalan.
Look at here.
Right here. Catalan hits him. I thought he might go down. Glad he's okay from that. But oh, no. No, the knee is up.
That is an incredible example of flexibility and leg strength to keep that knee from touching.
Flexibility. Because you're worried about the hip there.
Absolutely.
All that torque, all that power coming down on the leg.
You know that stretching that's never fun at a football practice. The players don't love doing. That's why you do it.
That's why you do it. Yeah.
Wow.
Great effort.
So 2 rushing touchdowns, assuming that stands for White. He also recovered that block punt in the end zone. So he had 2 touchdowns coming in. Adds 3 today. I'm not down. I was in. Look at that replay.
You're talking about a guy that had 2 ACL surgeries,
I know.
too. Think about that. 17 and 18. He missed the entire 18 season. Think about the rehab he's put in, the work he's put into those legs.
After video review, the ruling is confirmed. Touchdown.
That's a great point. One ACL is bad enough. When you hurt the same thing again, and you know what it takes to go through that rehab, it's a lot of inner strength that's required to get back at his position and still be elite.
Good for him, man. Great to see him rewarded for all that hard work he puts in. Known as a power back, but that time shows you that he's a great athlete, keeping his balance and eventually getting into the end zone.
First touchdown for the Georgia offense since midway in the first quarter. And the Dogs add to their lead. That was an impressive drive. Almost the entire length of the field.
That's what I love about Bennett.
Jumping and skipping and an easy day at the office. Malik Hornsby. Don't know if KJ Jefferson's day is done, but the speedy backup, the freshman from Texas, delivers a strike to Burks. Just nothing after the catch. This is a elite receiver that Georgia's defense has just shut down today.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a good job, I think, taking away every other aspect. And so when the running game's not working, the QB run's not working, you get into obvious play calling, obvious passing. It makes it tough on Kendall Briles. And of course, therefore, it's going to make it tough on Burks getting freed up.
Play action, and Hornsby wanted to take a deep shot, just puts the ball on the ground, and now running for his life. He's electric, but sometimes interesting stuff happens when he starts running around with the ball.
Yeah.
A few moments like that when Jefferson got hurt against the Aggies and he had to come into the game. 3rd and long, and it's time to be swarmed. New quarterback, same result. Adam Anderson with his 4th sack of the season.
Well, he had nowhere to step up. He wanted to step up, but Quay Walker was coming in the middle. 7 back here. Watch him get freed up. Pushes the middle of the pocket, so 4 steps out, and that's what allows Anderson, who's maybe their best pass rusher, along with Nolan Smith, to be able to get that sack. All the way to this point right now.
McIntosh up the middle. This will give people like Auburn, he's still plowing ahead, running really hard. All these guys are fresh and hungry to make an impact, and they have made one and then some today, Holly. Milton. And now you got a bunch of backup offensive linemen, and as you said, they're still eager to make their imprint, and they're continuing to shove the Hogs backwards.
I really feel that we are seeing the cycle turn a little bit in college football. This era of spread it out, throw it every play, it's still there, but I just think we're seeing more teams recruit offensive linemen and want to win the line of scrimmage, want to be different. And so how do you defenses are building to defend the spread, get more speed on the field, less size. What do you do to counter punch? You build an offense that can establish the line of scrimmage and pound the football. I just feel like we're seeing more and more teams doing that.
Edgen Edwards gets a touch. You wonder, Kirk, I mean, is this a massive turning point? Is this an anomaly because Georgia's offensive line played great and Arkansas didn't match up, or can they do this and really change the equation from what they did the first 4 games as they go on to take on Auburn, Kentucky, Florida, and so on?
Well, we'll see. It's more about between their ears than their physical abilities. They've got to flush this game, which is what Sam Pittman's going to try to do, is get this game behind them.
On the Georgia side of things.
And for Georgia, I think there's enough maturity and enough confidence and experience that they know what it takes to just. I think they expected to do this. If you talk to them privately, they're not surprised.
McIntosh takes a pitch on 4th down. He's going to make a cut, get the 1st down, and he shows his quickness, his elusiveness. Just these backs complement each other with their skill set.
The way they played early in the year, if they can keep playing like that, this is an Arkansas team that can definitely bounce back from this embarrassment today.
There's Jackson Meeks, who makes the catch on the long throw from Bennett. It's interesting to see. JT Daniels is the starter when he's healthy. He just couldn't go today. With the week's rest as they go to Auburn, he may feel a lot better. It's the kind of injury, Kirk. I don't know if you had that, but one day it's really painful. You can't throw. The next it kind of feels okay. So we don't know. It's week to week, day to day with Daniels. But what do you do if he comes back and he can throw next week?
Well, I think, first of all, the injury has very similar to what Dak Prescott dealt with. If you watched Hard Knocks or watched Dak throughout the month of August, they rested him a lot. I think it was a little bit more serious than what JT is dealing with, but I don't know, unless you give JT rest, I don't know how this goes away. It's a good one day, bad the next.
True. He needs rest. Not as serious as Prescott's. Not needed today, but Lesney hammers it through 37-0. Georgia wants to preserve that shutout. They haven't had back-to-back shutouts against SEC opponents since 1980. It was a pretty good year for the Dogs. Championship year, shutout Vandy and Kentucky. Back-to-back shutouts last came in 06. The Blazers UAB and South Carolina. Hornsby to the end zone. Oh, diving attempt there by Jaquaylin Crawford. Took a long time to really get the ball downfield against the backups in this Georgia defense. Came close to a touchdown there. So the Hogs will have to regroup, as you said, a whole lot to play for a team that was just hoping to get to a bowl game. Pittman said if we can get to 6 wins and just get to a bowl game, that's really going to help recruiting. Expectations upped after the 4-0 start, but a sobering afternoon in Athens. Hornsby gets the block, gets knocked down in the field of play.
I think the frustrating thing, you keep looking at Sam Pittman's face, and he knew what he was getting into today against Kirby. I mean, he used to coach here in Athens. The frustrating thing for him are the mistakes. You know, and it started in the opening series. So many miscues. It's one thing for Georgia to beat you, but you don't need to help them. And I think that's what they're going to learn from in the film work that they do on Monday.
Last play of the game, Meeks makes the catch, and that's it. I agree. He knew how good Georgia was, but Pittman had to be deeply disappointed about how his team got rattled early and made it pretty easy for Georgia.
He's telling him, thank you for everything, and you got a really, really, really good football team.
Now, he owes a lot to Kirby Smart. He said he learned a lot about being a head coach from his time here in Athens. For Kirby, it was a speed bump, and they just flattened Arkansas, and they keep rolling now. Auburn is up next. Let's hear from Kirby Smart with Holly.
Well, Coach Smart, this was the biggest test you've had perhaps so far. Number 8 team coming in here playing well. What did your team do to dominate?
Patience. Remember we talked about patience?
We did.
So patience gives you the ability to recover from anything. And this is a good football team we beat. Okay, they got a really good football team. Sam's done a tremendous job, but so do we. And I'm so proud for the University of Georgia. And our fans today, Holly, they were elite. Because at 12 o'clock, they affected the game. And that's special.
You're right. False start penalties on the very opening series. That was your fans. Great point, Coach. You got the ball moving on the running game. You were dominant up front. How can you build on that moving forward?
Well, confidence. It comes through your work habits. You know, humility is always a week away. We know that. Kids played really hard today, and I'm proud of them.
SEC shutouts are hard to come by. How did your defense do it?
Well, defensive staff does a great job. These kids take so much pride in their performance, and the offense helped them do that with the running game, shrinking the game a little bit.
Patience paid off today. Top 10 win. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Holly. Appreciate it.
Way to go, Dogs.
Kirby has a high standard, but there won't be a whole lot they can find fault with this performance. It was comprehensive. The defense did its thing. Another shutout. Special teams completely dominant. The offensive line was what they hoped to have at the beginning of the season.
I think they privately thought there's a lot of talk right now about Sam Pittman's team, and they deserve it. But we're going to see how physical they are at the line of scrimmage. You know, offensively, we want to be able to control things and run our backs, no matter who the quarterback is. Today it was Stetson Bennett. And then on defense, we want to really challenge this quarterback. We want him to feel our wrath. And that's exactly what they did on both sides of the ball. So this is a mission accomplished. Check the box, move on to the next one. This team has huge goals this season. It wasn't just beating Arkansas. They'll put this one behind them and move on.
37-0 over a top 10 opponent. Auburn up next, Kentucky, and then the cocktail party. So challenges ahead, but this hardest month of the season for Georgia is off to a great start. Thanks to our entire crew. Game produced by Bill Bunnell, directed by Derek Mobley. Thanks to Darren Brown, Mark Amento, Mike Black. Up in the booth here. And for Bill, for Kurt, for Holly, I'm Chris Fowler saying goodbye from Athens. Now back to Matt Berry in the studio.